On Tuesday, President Trump nominated Gina Haspel for CIA director. Haspel is currently the deputy director of the agency. If confirmed by the Senate, she will be the first ever female director of the agency. At least one member of the Senate has expressed opposition to confirming Haspel. Rand Paul of Kentucky opposes the confirmation of Mike Pompeo for Secretary of State and Gina Haspel for their support of enhanced interrogation techniques in the years following the September 11th attacks and the invasion of Iraq. Haspel has faced repeated criticism for running a CIA black site in Thailand in 2002, where prisoners were abused and tortured. For more on this, we're joined tonight by former CIA agent and whistleblower John Kiriakou. John, nice to have you with us tonight.
My pleasure, Ed. Thank you.
You know Gina Haspel?
I do know Gina Haspel.
So you professionally worked with her?
Yes.
Is she a good choice to run the agency?
No, I think she's a dreadful choice. First, let's get the female thing out of the way. It's a wonderful thing that a woman is being chosen as the new CIA director. It's, for the last 71 years, it's been run by white men. Gina Haspel ought not to be that first female director.
Why not?
She has such a dirty past that I think her past ought to disqualify her.
Such as running these dark sites, these black sites? I mean, look, she has a history of torture. The president supports torture.
Yes, he does.
It's been well documented, even from John McCain and others in the Senate, that torture does not work. It's counterproductive to getting proper information, and it's inhumane. And the United States has got to take the moral high ground on all of this. And everything I've just said in the last 20 seconds, we've already had that debate.
We have.
So is her nomination going to reopen this scab?
Frankly, I hope it does reopen it, because as a country, we need to have this conversation where we ask ourselves, what kind of a country do we want to be? Do we want to send a message to the CIA workforce that you can commit crimes against humanity, you can commit war crimes, and you don't have to worry about it?
So how do you think the rank and file of the CIA will take this nomination?
To tell you the truth, I think that by and large, they're going to support it. She's been around for a very long time. She's been at the CIA for 33 years now. She has a lot of friends, and there are a lot of people, and we saw this on Capitol Hill today, there are a lot of people who are willing to call that an anomaly, that period from 2002 until roughly 2005, where Gina Haspel was running this torture program. They're willing to just put that aside and say, look at the rest of her career. I think that's the wrong thing to do.
You think she'll do it again and endorse it?
She says that she wouldn't.
Or was she just an order taker at the time?
Well, but the thing is even order takers have the right and the legal obligation to stand up and say, that's illegal, it's ethically and morally wrong, and I'm not going to do it.
Do you think she'll have a hard time being confirmed?
I do think so. I hope she does. And I'll tell you where I'm most worried. I'm most worried about the Democrats, because I think the Democrats are weak on this issue. Oftentimes, the Democrats on the oversight committees are little more than cheerleaders for the CIA, because they don't want to be accused of being weak on national security. So where we ought to be looking for leadership from the likes of Dianne Feinstein, for example, and Mark Warner, we have to worry about Dianne Feinstein and Mark Warner flipping.
So are we going to go back to the days of picking up people at dinner and doing rendition flights?
That's exactly what I fear. I could see that happening under this president, yes.
And what stops this, other than an election and a president that won't tolerate it?
The election is the easy part. The hard part is real congressional oversight. You know, like we had in the 1970s or through the 1980s with the likes of Daniel Patrick Moynihan or Frank Church or Otis Pike. We need these elected officials on Capitol Hill to stand up and say, no, you can't do that.
So this is a step of America taking a step down on the ladder when it comes to reaching the moral high ground.
I think we're backsliding. How do we look other countries in the face every year when we're writing the State Department's Human Rights Report and say, you need to respect human rights, when we don't respect human rights? It's just not, it's not viable.
And would you go so far as to believe that there would be black sites on the globe that would be...
Under Gina Haspel?
Yeah.
I would have to assume, yes.
John Kiriakou, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.